Namaskar. I'm Kumar Rakesh. I'm just talking about the US election as I covered last before 7. I was in USA, Washington DC, and just talked. Mr. Varghese K. George originated Hindu newspaper. He has been the US correspondent more than 3 years, and also he covered the 47th president election. I also covered, just talked about the his inputs, his analysis, what impact of the U.S. election on Bharat, and how just he analyzed. We'll see it before that day. The On 7th of November, the result was 295 and 226, but after this 312, the result is final result of Republicans is 312, the maximum in the history, and 226 the Kamala Harris and Democrat. And there were I think many candidates for Chase Oliver, Robert Kennedy, Jill Stein, Greens Party, Independent, Libertarian Party, but two part the zero electoral votes. They have got the vote, but electoral votes zero. But Donald Trump, Republican Party, 312 electoral votes, and 76,000, 7 crore, I think, in our Indian, 50.2% votes he got, and 48.2% is Democratic Party. So a difference of 2%, but electoral votes is major numbers, you can understand. So this is the impact of electoral votes always. And if you see the US House, the Nick Vegas Party, 49%, 94% reporting, and but David Salukod is 51.9%. So front runners there, and in the U.S. Senate, there are even Gallagher, Democratic 50.1%, and Rick Scott, Republican Party 99%. But we'll just see the what one thing Mr. George K. Varghese on U.S. election. Let us listen. But we have Mr. George Varghese, senior journalist of Bharat, and working for Hindu. He has been in USA last before, I think, 2021. Yeah, and he covered that time. He covered Trump, and now for election he has here just to cover the Trump and the Democratic and U.S. election, you can say, not the Trump. But now somebody was saying the friend circle when George Varghese was covering, and Trump is last time he covered, Trump win, and this time he covered, and also Trump won. So this may be the coincidence, but this is also the positive factor for any journalist and those working for the paper or channels and all. So just we'll take the inputs and analysis on the whole result on US election from Varghese Sahab. Welcome to the show. Yeah. Just how just you analyze the just the camera. Just to analyze the outcome result of US election.
So the main message from this outcome in 2024 is the fact that if you go back, so you have to, there's a prehistory to Trump movement. There was a Tea Party movement that it used to be called much before Trump, several years before Trump, which was a mobilization of US nativism and conservatism, etc. But Trump is one who crystallized that, or aggregated all that sentiment and made it into a popular political movement called Make America Great Again, the MAGA movement as it came to be called. Now in 2016, when Donald Trump won the election, general interpretation, general commentary or analysis of that election was to say that US is a multicultural place, and increasingly a multicultural, multi-ethnic society, where this kind of hyper-nationalism or nativism or ethnic mobilization has no place, or it is impossible to survive. And though Donald Trump won 2016, that was just an aberration. That is not, it cannot be the case. Republicans cannot win the election. And in fact, the argument was also made, though technically Trump won the presidential polls in 2016 by winning the electoral college votes. He was trailing behind Hillary Clinton in popular votes. So that was cited to make the argument that the majority of American population was against Trump, though he won the election. All this was broadly the argument, and this was reinforced, or it was claimed to have been proven by the 2020 outcome, where Trump lost the election to Democrat Joe Biden. So all that analysis is now being turned on its head, because not only that Trump has come back, it is a major comeback, it's a very consequential comeback, and not only that he won the electoral college votes, he's also won the popular votes. So that
Popular
argument
votes,
that so now the argument will have to be a majority of Americans actually support Trump. There are many issues, from inflation to America's global war, housing crisis, healthcare, abortion. There are multiple issues at play, but the reason behind Trump's success, I would say, Trump has demonstrated the capacity to sort of link every other issue to one issue, which is illegal immigration. So if there is price rise, you say, okay, that is because illegal people are coming, therefore there is price rise. If there is a housing crisis, you would say undocumented people are coming, therefore there is a housing crisis. If there is a health issue, access to health issue, he linked everything, every other issue practically, to one question of immigration, and that actually had a major traction among the voting population. To how that actually played out as the dominant issue, or one of the dominant issues, is proven by the fact that Kamala Harris and the Democrats themselves, they had to revise their policy in terms of immigration, and they kept on talking about strengthening border security throughout the campaign as it moved along, trying to sort of reinforce their own credentials. So that, I think, is the main issue that played out.
So, according just if you say the personality-wise, how you compare Mr. Narendra Modi and Mr. Trump?
Well, I think Modi and Trump, they have several similarities. One of the key similarities is, okay, what was happening to the Republican Party and the BJP before Trump and Narendra Modi came onto the picture. So BJP was in disarray, it was losing elections, and the same things were, broadly speaking, talked about in terms of BJP and the Republican Party, because considering the change in demography, considering the change in the society attitude, these parties may not have a future, or unless they change
the leadership.
And then these new leaders take over that party, or then they
branded like anything.
And they rebranded the party, and the rebranding of the party involved a significant role of the leader himself, both for Donald Trump and for Narendra Modi. So in both cases, the leaders are actually more popular than the party, and party leaders, whether at a regional level or state level or constituency levels, no party leader can actually survive without full-throated endorsement and support from the leader, whether it is Trump or Mr. Modi. So in a significant manner, both these leaders have reshaped their respective parties, the Republican Party and the BJP, and in the process, or further, the idea of nationhood, the idea of selfhood, the idea of the collective, all that thing has been reshaped primarily because of the way they think, the way they act, and the way they live. So I think you can see a lot of similarities between how that process played out in the last 10 years.
Okay. 29, the tenure of the Trump, working-wise, governance-wise.
Well, we have to see, wait and watch how he says, but all what we know at the moment is that Trump has said several times that his first tenure from 2016 to 2020, he was not very clear about how this place runs, Washington DC runs. He said that I made several appointments based on recommendations and references made by his colleagues or people who he trusted. And he said that many of those were wrong decisions in terms of personnel that he appointed into cabinet and senior positions. So he said that he will be very careful. He knows who to pick and who not to pick for his
Okay.
as his close advisors. So one has to see, because possibly it's reasonable to assume that Trump would be more effective in doing things that
Now.
he wants to
Now.
do now
Yeah.
than before. There are other reasons also. He is likely to have full control over the US Senate and US
Both.
House of Representatives, and the judiciary also is largely a conservative judiciary. The Supreme Court bench, the judges are largely leaning towards more conservative judiciary. So all these things create an overall ecosystem, but one has to also note that all those things, the American media will remain stridently critical of Trump in his agenda. There will be other groups, major campaign groups, civil society groups. The Democratic Party is not like a very strong, powerful force, though they lost the election very comprehensively this time. You can't really wish them away or rule them out of it. So there will be resistance at massive level. But also, I think, since he's experienced with one term in office and being away from office for 4 years, I think he will be more effective in doing what he wants.
So it will be good for India also, Bharat also.
That I do not know, because I think to link or trying to link changes in governments, whether it is in India or in the US or any other country. There are cases you can't actually cite.
It depends.
Depends on some cases.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, as a principle, I think trying to analyze bilateral relations based on a change in government in any country would be a little too much of an exaggeration.
Yeah.
Why? Because all countries have their very basic structural ideas about their interests and what they have to do. Yes, there will be ups and downs, variations and other things. But overall, if at all there is movement, I think the net result would be a slight uptick in India-US relations.
So nice of you,
Thank you.
Mr. Varghese, and how just you see the how analyze Mr. Varghese, the many similarities between India, Bharat, and USA, and the governance and administration of Mr. Trump will be more effective than the last whatever he was done. And he was just saying he was so novice to handle the Washington DC politics, but now in this term he will be more effective for the country, and as he already said in his speech after the winning, just we are for the healthy America, we are for a strong America and for the better America. But in between, some people from the crowd chant the Modi, Modi. Then he also praised, yes, he is a nice man, I have learned so many things. So I think that this equation will be better for the India and America, as we think. Kumar Rakesh from White House, Washington DC, USA.
Okay, I'll